Welcome to Party by Design Flower School. So today we're going to finish up the wreath that I showed you in my previous video. So this is made of asparagus leaf, which I have in my garden, and they just grow beautifully. So I went to go cut a few pieces, and then I'm just going to show you. It's very easy to work with. You just need to put your gloves on, because these thorns, and when they prick you, it's quite anal. So I'm just going to quickly put my garden gloves on. There we go. And then we just take the longest piece you have. It's very interesting though, I just want to show you. This one is a beautiful green, and this asparagus grows in a pot in the shade all day. And then this one is more of a lime green. It's almost got a yellow tint because it's also in a pot, but it's in the sun the whole time. So it's amazing how different colors can be when it's exposed to sunlight most of the day. So I'm going to take the longest piece I've got, which I almost think is this one. Yes. So then you're just going to start, decide on how big you want your wreath to look. I think I'm going to go with this one. So I think if I look at that size, it could be good. So you just take the one end and just turn it around to get it to stay put like that. So it's not quite round, but we will maneuver it until it's a nice shape. Then I'm going to take another piece, and I'm going to start anywhere really, and I'm going to tuck it in and around and in and around like that. And this one is already busy flowering, which is so pretty. It's got these little berries on. I'll just show you. There we go. And that little berry turns bright red towards spring, and which makes it a perfect foliage to make your Christmas wreath, because then you've already got the red beading. So you just keep twisting and twisting. I'm going to take another little piece. I think I'm going to go with the limey color. That one's not okay. Here's a short piece, but it doesn't matter because we want to try and get it as full as possible. So we just add the short piece, and when it droops to the sides like that, just leave it because it looks also pretty. And you've got those little berries here, so don't worry if it's not all too perfect. Here's another nice long piece, and I'm going to tuck that one in as well. This has got a nice little bend which locks in nicely into your wreath. There we go, and twist in and out as you circle it around. There we go. And of course you can use the same technique with your grapevines, which most people do for Christmas. There we go. So we can see we've got a bit of an empty spot there, but we'll fill it in. Here's another nice short piece, so I'm going to use that to fill in that section. So I'm just going to stick the stem in and turn. There we go. So now you can see we're starting to get a nice round wreath. This one we need to just tuck a little bit more in. There we go. And when the stem sticks out like that, just push it back and push it into the wreath itself. Yeah, we've got another short piece. I think I'm going to just add it in here like that. around and in bit tuck in again, so it's nice and secure. So now we can see we're starting to get a nice full one. I hope I picked enough. I definitely need to get some happening here. Okay, so we're gonna just stick that in there. Okay, and in and around, and in and around, in and around like that. Okay, now it's at the stage where you can actually bend it the way you want it. There we go. And I've still got 2 pieces left. This one is not so nice, so I'm just going to cut it off and use the last bit, and I'm going to get it in here like that. Get it a bit fuller on this end. Okay, and one last one that we're going to put in. There we go. And those are the little berries falling off. And we stick the stem in, give it a nice turn, and hopefully this one will go around, right around. And we take the end bit and we stick it in there. Make sure it's nice and secure. And there we go. Now we've got a beautiful wreath. And we find the best side. If I look at it, I think this one has got a bit more flowy leaves on this side. And there we go. So now you can decorate it. So you can use anything you've got at home, even artificial flowers, which I've got a lot of, but I thought let me just show you what you can do. So you can either decorate it with beads, and I've got silver and gold, and this is a mother of pearl bead, which is quite pretty, and you can just buy them at the Awesome Craft shop, and you can take your mother of pearl beads and you can just turn it inside and out like that as well, all around. I've got enough. There we go, in and around. And the nice thing about making a wreath, you know, it doesn't have to be like perfect. It's your creativity that comes out, and it's your own special creation. At least I'm going to just get that around like that, all around, and I'm happy with that. So now we've got the pretty little beads just flying in and around your wreath, and you can now decide what you want to do. I must just show you these. I made these. This is from dried Dusty Miller, the little leaf, and I just, after I've done work, I just leave it in water to dry on its own, and it becomes quite lovely if you want to use it later for anything. So that's what that looks like. And I've just taken a little bud off, and I tied some of those cherry what do you call them, little cherry buttons on excuse me, and they come also You can just buy this at your arts and crafts shop, so they look like that. That's the little one. And you just tie the wire around the little leaf, and then you can decide where you want to tuck it in. So you can either put it there or wherever. So you can make 4 or 5 of those to put in. I just actually want to see which way we want it. There we go. So you can either tuck them in like that, or you can use your glue gun and glue it on. I would rather just tuck it in so that I can take it out once my wreath has dried up, and then I can reuse it. So we have these with the Dusty Miller. Then I made this little one that I also just picked this up in the garden. It's like a tiny little acorn, and I tied 3 of the little cherries onto that. And what I normally do is just cut, and I didn't now, but I just cut some bay leaves, which works wonderful in a wreath because it lasts long. It stays green for quite some time. But now I don't have right with me, but let's just use whatever I've got here in the studio, which is a little bit of populus. So you can just add your little creation on your populus like that, and stick it on to your wreath like that. The other ones that I made was also little, these are actually protea pots. Once they flower, they dry out. I'll just take my gloves off so that you can see. But they look like that. These I've sprayed like silver, but the natural color is brown like that. I don't know if you can see. There we go. Okay. And with this, we also now need the bay leaves. Do I have a little bit of ruscus? Let me look. Maybe I'm lucky. Got some viburnum, which also works very, very well. So we've got some of this that you then stick into your wreath like that. Once again, I don't think I would want to glue gun it on, because I would like to use it once the asparagus is dried up, which I'll show you in a moment. So these you can take, and then you can just glue gun your pod. Let me put that down. Just remember to always work very carefully with the glue gun. Very hot. So then we're going to stick it in the viburnum like that. Just hold it there for a minute, so it can stick to your green leaf. Okay, just going to leave that flat so long. I'm going to take another one. So I'm not actually putting the glue onto the wreath, but onto the green leaf like that. I'm just going to hold that there for a minute. Okay, here we go. So now you can see I've got that just on the top. And now to give it a bit of color, I'm going to take my little cherry beads. I've got different sizes here. So I'm going to take 2 really small ones and 1 medium one, and I'm going to stick it, and these we can just stick through like that. And maybe we can just get this little guy in there. You don't have to cut or bind, because it just sticks into the, and there we go. And that you can do all around your wreath, and then you can tie it up with whatever ribbon you've got, and you hang it up on your front door. So there we go. So you can dry leaves like the Dusty Miller. You can use little acorns or whatever is lying outside really that's dried and you can use. So once you've finished making your wreath and Christmas is over or Easter is over, then it's going to start drying up, but don't throw it away, because once it's dried, this one I made for myself for Easter, so once it's dried, you can just take any crafter's spray and give it a good spray. I'm just going to stand towards the doorway. Give it a good spray. And remember just to keep it 20 centimeters away. Okay, now you've got this beautiful white wreath out of the same asparagus leaf. There we go. I'll just hold it close. And it looks like a fairy tale almost, because it's got this soft look. And this is perfect for Christmas. And once again, we can apply the same things. You can use artificial flowers. You can decorate it with beads. And I've got these silver beads that I thought would look very pretty that we can put around the wreath. I'm just going to open this up. Get it off the cardboard. Just so it's got a bit of a bling. But if you don't have beads, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to just tuck that in and around. And some bits and pieces will fall off, and that's alright, because you've got so much to work with. In and around, and I'm going to be a bit short, so that's okay. There we go. So now I've put the, just want to see if you can see in there. Okay, and now I can decorate it with my Dusty Miller. So I'm going to just stick a little piecey in there, like that, and just pull my leaves out. And they actually dry so beautifully because they don't break and they're not brittle, which is fantastic to work with. I'm going to show you a bit closer, but there we go. That's your little bottom there. And then once again, also you can use either rope to make your bow, or if you're going silver, you can go silver with some silver lint, or if you're going to go gold, and rose gold is so popular. I want to grab a little sip of tea here. I also took the same Dusty Miller, and what was left I pressed in a book, so I've got a whole pile of them because I just knew at some point I'm going to want to use them again. So this one I sprayed rose gold. If you can see, that's how it looks normally, and this one I sprayed rose gold. So now you can change the whole design. So you can take your rose gold beads and twist it around. Then you can make little leaves like that. I'm going to just tuck this in, because once again, with the wreath that is dried out, you know, then you can very easily glue gun it. I just want to put that like that and just show you. Now I've put two little leaves there, and then you can once again use what you've got. If you've got artificial flowers or proteas, little proteas or pin cushions, red pin cushions, would would be lovely because they would last long, but to bring some color, then you can add your little cherry buttons here. And I just want to see, I've got some nice big ones that we can put in there, if I can just get to them. No, I can't. But anyway, so now you can really play around. So you can add any of your little pines or whatever you've made, you can add to that. So you can either have that, you can have your green leaves, you can also use your penny gum, which is so divine because it dries beautifully. So you can also add your penny gum to it. And the reason for making a wreath, once you have got your design and it's ready, you can do anything to decorate it. So there's no right or wrong way. My aim was really just to show you how you can make a beautiful wreath out of asparagus ferns. And I'll just give you a look there again, how pretty that is. And then once this has dried, you can reuse it again for Christmas. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. Take care.